So I know I'm a little behind on this horror movie. I'm referring to Late Night with the Devil because, many of my friends were telling me like I need to see this movie since they know I'm a movie guy, and I've been like, I saw the trailer and I'm not into those found footage movies, okay? They really don't do it for me. They just seem fake. And my friend's like, believe me, man, you will enjoy this movie. You need to go see it. Finally, they wore me down, and I went to go see it. And well, when I saw it, I was shocked. So before I get started on this review, I just want to say a big thanks to my friends who told me to go see it. So thank you. So Late Night with the Devil is one of those found footage movies, but I wouldn't technically consider it found footage because, I would consider it more, I guess you could say, archived footage because the story is about this late night talk show in the 70s and the last broadcast it had where the host invites a possessed girl to be one of his guests for the evening. And let's just say, yeah, that is bad news waiting to happen. That's what I was thinking. But why not? The movie stars Dave Dalshamanan. Probably said his name wrong. Sorry about that. But let me just say first about him, this is another great role he played as the host of this TV show. I don't know what he's been doing in his career, but the past few years I've seen movies that he was in, every one of them at minimal was good. Up to great, then excellent. Now, I don't know what he's doing in his career to get all these great roles, but whatever he is doing, he needs to keep doing it. Now, let me just say, it took a while for me to go see this film. But, after my friends brought me down, I finally did. But the reason why it took me so long to go see it is because I'm not a big fan of the found footage genre. Like I said, because found footage genre movies really have to convey well to realism. That's like their whole bread and butter because it needs to feel realistic, like this stuff actually happened. And a lot of times, it doesn't do that. I think the last one I watched that actually did that well was the Blair Witch Project in 1999. And then Hollywood, of course, started doing so many of them, and then they just ruined the genre completely. But this movie that I saw took me back to the time I saw the Blair Witch Project. It felt realistic. It felt like I was watching a TV show where a possessed girl was there and things just went haywire. So, that's why it shocks me the most, because this movie wasn't just good. It was excellent. First of all, let's start with the way this movie was shot. It was shot, so brilliantly. It was, of course, shot as a archived footage or found footage talk show that was done in the 70s, and it looks exactly like that. From the lighting, to the camera angles, to showing the audience, laughing, to going back and forth with the host. It was like we were actually watching a TV show in the theater. They even went so far as to doing the 4:3 aspect ratio, which was, how movies were watched in that time. I think aspect ratio was around up until maybe the mid-90s. That was when, widescreen started taking over. But even going that far for accuracy for the time the talk show happened, that's dedication right there. What also was great about this movie is that it's, like I said, it's shot like a late night show. So when you're watching it as an audience member, you're not watching it like you would be watching a movie in the theater. You are watching it like you would be watching Late Night with Jimmy Fallon at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So it looks like a television show. So of course, there are moments when there are commercial breaks. And then we go to this black and white footage where it's showing what's going on with the host behind the scenes and how each moment and decision led up to the devastation that happened that night. So we're seeing we want this act next. We want this act next. Okay, now we're bringing her out. And it actually works perfectly that way, the way they stitched it all together, because the movie's only an hour and a half long, and it's at the perfect length for it. So, that was really great, too, to see how the choices were made up to the main decision. There was hardly anything bad that I saw in this movie. Let me just tell you about my favorite scene. Well, partially tell you about it because I don't want to give away spoilers. Because for those who haven't seen it and are intending to watch it, there was a body horror moment in this movie. And for all you who are fans of Cronenberg, I'm pretty sure you guys will spot it. But when I saw that happen, I was like, I was like super excited because I wasn't expecting that to happen in this film. I mean, it's like this is about possession and found footage. I was like, when did body horror become a part of it? But when it did, I was like, oh my god, yes! And it just really excited me because it's just like it was nice to get that one little moment, and the way they made it feel looks so natural. That was an extra plus as well. There was one scene that I was like okay with, and I was like, when I say okay, I'm like was shocked that it was there because I didn't think it should have been there. And it was the moment that like we saw like lightning coming out of her hands, the possessed girl's hands during the possession. When I saw that happening, I was like, okay, that was random and that happened. But the reason why I say it like that is because I was like, if there were moments where she was possessed and they did other things, and then I saw that and I was like, why are they doing that? They could have done so many other things. I was like, why would they just put some random CGI into this movie when they didn't need it? It was perfectly fine without it. But that was whatever, but it was the only scene that I saw was like the one flaw of this movie. There was also a moment where supposedly AI was used. I mean, I never spotted it, but I heard also when people did spot it, they were like, oh, this shouldn't have been in there. Oh, why are you putting that in this movie? And I was like, who cares? I mean, the movie was still amazing. It's not, so there was like one part where AI was used in the film. It's not like they used AI to write the entire script like 90% of the other writers in Hollywood. And come on, it was still a great movie. And for a low budget flick, amazing. Overall, without a doubt, Late Night with the Devil gets an A+. I mean, horror is really making a statement this year, and we're not even at the halfway point yet. But what really stands out about this movie is that this is probably one of the best films of 2024. Alright, well that just about wraps up this review. If you guys have seen Late Night with the Devil, please comment here down below what your thoughts were on it. Also, if you like my other videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys next time, and remember, stay epic!